I do want to transition to Tulsa King season two, and we've
Sure.
actually interviewed many of the Tulsa King cast.
Right.
Season two was amazing. I was really, just excited. This show kind of just came out of nowhere as well, too, right? I mean, this is the first time that Stallone, with the exception, I was actually corrected by Guy Narduli. I said this is the first time that Stallone's ever played a mobster. He's like, no. He actually played a mobster in Oscar. And I was
Right.
like, man, I completely missed that one. So, Movie Junk got stumped on that one. But I mean, he does such an amazing job. You're on the opposite side. You play the character of Jackie. So I'd love to hear how you first heard about the role. Were you up for this role in season one, or did this come going into season two?
No, so like millions of us, I was a huge fan of season one, and that show just came out of nowhere. I remember just like, seeing some kind of teaser for it, and I was just excited because I'm a Stallone fan, as everyone is. And I remember I fell in love with season one. I was just like, the writing is phenomenal. Like, it's funny, it's dark, it's gangster, it's light, like it's all these different layers of artistic things and qualities. So I was excited for season two. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't wait for season two. Um, True story. I was actually the last addition to season two, and according to our showrunner, our EP Craig Zisk, he mentioned to me that their main writer Terence Winter, who's excellent, they had done their research and realized late in pre-production that there was this whole Chinese element to kind of the world, the marijuana world in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so they did their research, and they did their it was excellent research, and they realized that there has been this migration from mainland China through Sacramento, through Colorado, and eventually landing in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the Chinese, literally Chinese nationals, had a community there.
Wow.
And they were occupying hundreds of acres of marijuana and other things. And they were kind of keeping on the down low from the feds and the US like authorities, and making a huge killing there. So long story short, they felt that that element was crucial and would definitely add to season two. So that's why I said I got brought on late. I think I got the call to that for the character, and I had a meeting with Craig, and I was in New York doing something else, and that must have been like 3 weeks maybe prior to the first day of shooting. Like, it was late, and they had rewritten all the scripts to include this whole Jackie Ming element with his whole triad world of gangsters, and the fact that it was inspired by real and true events was cool as hell. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always up for like a true story, so to speak. And yeah, just a real honor to get that call and to dial it in. And next thing you know, I was in Atlanta with Sly and the gangs, and the rest is history.
Definitely, definitely. And season two had some amazing additions, obviously including yourself, Neil McDonough, Cash Flow, who's a professional wrestler, came in and joined the
Right,
crew as
right.
well. And definitely, the
We had
stakes
Frank
were higher.
Grillo.
Frank
Yep,
Grillo as
yep.
well too. So we definitely saw, because I mean, Dwight was sent out there pretty much to just, die pretty much, right? Just go die on the vine, and he
Right,
created this whole ecosystem, right, with the marijuana shop, and now he's getting into distributing and the bar and gambling. With
right.
Chris Caldovino coming from New York and running the gambling operations. So,
Yep,
being a Sopranos fan, and you mentioned Terrence Winter, I was like,
right,
man, this is just a great, great show. And, just where season three, ended, right? It seems like the CIA or somebody is going in and kidnapped him, but where do
right.
you see the show going from here after that epic finale?
Oh God. I mean, I died, spoiler alert, right? I mean, I'm done. I was, it was bittersweet, right? So I kind of checked out. But from what I've heard, there's so many ways they can go. You know what I mean? Just because the fact that they added the Jackie Ming and the Chinese element at, like, the fourth quarter with like 10 seconds to go, literally. I mean, anything's possible. I just think, the fact that I believe they got both season three and four greenlit, so
Yeah.
uh, they have more time to play, more time to plan, and are that's the cool thing when you get multiple season renewals. You can kind of lay out the land and the script and the story with a lot more comfort, knowing you're coming back, right? So if you don't get everything in that you want to in season 3, well, you have season 4 to examine that, explore that, and show that. So I can't give anything any knowledge about that. I just don't have it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But excited for them to continue. I'm blessed to have been a part. Like I never thought I'd have an opportunity to work with Sly. The man's 78 years old and he's still punching, as he always says. You know what I mean? And so that was the treat, and that was more than a treat. You know what I mean? Like I've never. There's certain people that I've grown up and they're like Stallone and Arnold and people like Bruce Lee and even Michael Jackson, for example, guys, these iconic figures that when I was a kid were so impactful, but I never thought I would either be able to work for one of them in the way of bringing their script to life that never came to life, or two, literally working next to them, and watching them direct a set, watching them direct a scene. Had an opportunity to work with Jeff Bridges on The Old Man, even like that was iconic as hell. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just really blessed, man. Like, it's weird, being an actor, you just want to work.
Yeah.
And so, once you get into kind of the business and you're a working actor, so to speak, it's humbling. And I just never thought I'd have an opportunity to work with these legends, literally. So, just really fortunate, man. It was such a fun run, like you said, with Chris, with Frank, Neil McDonough, Cash, who else? The whole gang.
Yeah.
It was Jay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Definitely, definitely. And we've had Frank Stallone on our show, and
Okay.
I've met Sylvester in person a few years back and was able to take a picture, and both just, super, super nice and
Yeah.
welcoming guys, and excited to see him, 78 and still punching, right? I mean,
Right.
were you given any, like, for example, like shooting a scene with him, was there any like direction that he gave or any advice that he gave you on your performance?
What we say is no notes are good notes, right? So he actually I had a few small scenes with him leading up to the big finale, which obviously is me and him and the gang. But I'd like to say I think he was liking what I was doing, whether it was
Awesome.
just blocking adjustments, meaning like, why don't you step here? I'll go here, stuff like that. But, by the time I really had, by the time my character kind of peaked in Jackie's arc, I was so dialed in with the character. I knew exactly where he was going. And trust me, I would have gotten notes a lot earlier from Sly, even if he wasn't in the scene, because
Yeah,
he has
yeah,
that much creative control. And so, like I said, is if you're not hearing from him, that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, just like I said, it was more of a learning experience, just standing next to the guy and watching him command a set and watching his attention to detail and how he would dissect everything that the art department and the set decoration department would establish for us. He'd
mhm,
ask, every question he would ask, why is that? Why does that? We got to move that here. We got to make sure we do, I was just soaking it all up. The thing was, I hated going back to my chair between shots because I just kind of wanted to literally be next to the man, to just absorb whatever I could. I mean, this is a master. You know what I mean? I mean, why would I ever not want to be around this man on set while he's working, literally? So, fantastic
awesome.
human being. It was they say never meet your heroes or your idols. Like, I'm really fortunate I was able to meet Sly. Fantastic dude, just a cool man. So much respect for him, and anyone younger than him, we have no excuse. This dude is killing it at 78. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, we have no excuse to complain, no excuse not to be on time, no excuse not to give it our all when this guy, he doesn't have to work. You know what I mean? Like, he's had a career. He's a legend, and yet he's still dialed in and directing, writing, producing, editing, and leading, this show.
yeah,
So all respect.
definitely. Definitely. We're excited to see obviously more of his work and your character. Well, actually, one thing I wanted to mention as well too, hopefully, just knowing the Chinese, they usually don't go down that easy. So I'm still rooting that maybe, Jackie has this crazy,
Right,
crazy twin brother that's coming
right,
from back home to seek vengeance. So that would be
right,
a really cool way to see your character. But spoiler alert, fans don't know your character met his demise by Tyson, who I
right,
do, which is also a good transition to On Call because you play a character named Tyson Kayama
right.
on Call, which is new show on Amazon Prime. All 8 episodes are available on Amazon Prime, so fans can just go in and binge watch.